Okay, guys, so you're at the base of the walls outside the city. Do you still plan on circling around in an attempt to find Cass?
Yeah, that's the plan, Joe. I want to drink a healing potion, though. I'm feeling pretty roughed up from them godforsaken imps. I don't really want to go into this fight on less health than max. I'm already a 4th and a 3rd level spell down.
Yeah, okay, so you drink that.
I'm gonna give you a cure wounds as well, buddy. If I roll well, it should bring you back to full near enough.
Thanks for that, Celestia.
Perfect. So that's an 8 on my die, which gives you a total of 13 healing.
Boom, and just like that, Tronald's back in business, baby.
So what's the tactical plan then, guys? Like, are we just going to charge in there and be like, "Oi, you!" then attack him? Or is there a smarter way?
I say we split up. A couple of us should go up top. Keep high for as long as we can. We don't know what kit this guy's got, but judging from the tales, he's going to be pretty powerful. If we all go in together, and he has some powerful area of effect spell or something, then we're all fucked. So, yeah, I'll be going up top trying to take shots off at him from above. Who else wants to come with me?
I'll go up there as well. My AC and HP aren't too great, so I'd be better off in a supporting role.
In that case, then, I'll cast Blessing of the Trickster on you, Saxy. It should give you a decent stealth boost. I'm not sure how much it will actually help, but it's better than nothing. Basically, you get an advantage on your stealth checks.
Great, so that means me, Raarh, and Celestia will be heading up front. We should still try to spread out a little, though. Is everyone ready? This is do or die.
Honestly, man, I'm as ready as I'll ever be. If we die, well, it's been one hell of a trip.
Right. Joe, I begin walking around the city walls with Celestia and Raarh.
Come on, Saxy, let's climb this wall. See you on the other side, guys.
Yeah, let's use the ladders that are already propped up from the west side. It'll make it easier.
Joe, as we're walking around, do we spot any of the army, the Obetus or Cass?
All right, as you all walk around the northern side of the wall, you eventually reach the corner where the north-facing wall meets the west. You peer out into the darkness, the eerie silence settling over the battlefield. The ground is littered with lifeless figures, hundreds upon hundreds of zombie corpses strewn about, broken siege equipment, and even some abandoned artillery left in the wake of the army's push into the city. The scene is a graveyard of the battle's earlier fury, the air thick with the smell of death, undeath, and smoke. You continue along the outside of the wall, the sounds of distant fighting echoing in the night. The massive gates come into view, battered and smashed through. As you approach, you look up and see Saxy and Mite already at the top of the wall, their silhouettes barely visible against the sky. Peering through the wreckage, you spot a lone figure standing in the midst of the devastation. His back is turned to you, his posture rigid and unmoving. The clash of swords, the screams of the dying, and the sporadic bursts of magic erupting further into the city create a contrast to the stillness of this solitary figure.
Do you think that's...
Shh, buddy, we're going to need to be quiet. Maybe we could get the jump on him if he doesn't spot us. Joe, I give the signal to Saxy up top for him and Mite to slowly begin to circle around the figure in the middle.
And what are you three doing?
The same, Joe. We're going to try to sneak in without him noticing us.
I'm going to need stealth checks from everyone.
All right, that's a 15 for me.
A 12 for me.
A 19 for me.
A 13 for me, Joe.
That's a 17 for me, Joe.
All right. As you approach the demolished gates, the lifeless bodies of the fallen create an almost grotesque carpet beneath your feet. Tronald, Celestia, and Raarh, you move with calculated precision, each step deliberate and measured. The faintest sound, a rustle of clothing, a whisper of breath, feels amplified in the oppressive stillness. The shattered remnants of the gates loom above you, twisted and splintered. As you pass through the wreckage, your senses heightened, every nerve on edge. Mite and Saxy, already atop the walls, you find hiding points, your keen eyes scanning the area, taking in every detail, finding the right times to move and the right times to stay still. The lone figure stands ahead, still seemingly oblivious to your presence, his back turned as he gazes into the heart of the city where chaos reigns. As you move closer, the tension in the air is almost unbearable. Each footfall is a careful ballet of stealth, avoiding the treacherous debris that could betray your approach. A misplaced step, a single crack of wood, or the kick of a loose stone, and the fragile silence could shatter, alerting the figure to your presence. Tronald, you lead the way, your eyes locked on the figure, every muscle in your body coiled like a spring, ready to react. Celestia and Raarh follow closely, your breaths held, your hearts pounding in unison. Above, Mite and Saxy hold their positions, your fingers twitching near your weapons, preparing for the worst.
Joe, can I get a glimpse of the guy's face? Is it Cass?
There seems to be some lingering smoke that makes it a little awkward to see. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Mite.
That's an 18.
Might, as you peer down from your vantage point, the moonlight casts a ghostly glow over the scene. You squint, focusing intently on the lone figure below, every detail around you sharp and vivid in the dim light. As you strain your eyes, you finally catch a glimpse of his face. Yes, it is Cass. His gaunt features are illuminated by the eerie glow of the surrounding flames. His skin, corpse-like, stretched tightly over his sharp cheekbones and hollowed eyes. Those eyes, dark wells of malevolence, seem to absorb the light rather than reflect it. His lips are thin and cracked, curled into a faint sardonic smile as he surveys the destruction he has wrought. You notice the faint traces of dried blood around his mouth, the remnants of his brutal handiwork. His hair, long and unkempt, falls in greasy strands around his face, partially obscuring his features but doing little to hide the intensity of his gaze. Cass stands tall and imposing, his sword sheathed with little to no armor on him. His hands, clenched into fists, twitch slightly as if eager for more carnage.
Okay. Joe, I'm going to cast message to Tronald. Hey, Tronald, yeah, it is Cass. What should we do?
You and Saxy split up and get into good positions. We're going to go in now.
Out of interest, Joe, how is my forbiddance doing? Is it still active?
Raarh, as you focus, you get the sense that your spell is no longer active and that it has been dispelled.
Right. So it seems like Cass has got rid of my area of effect, undead fucker. So he's probably planning to move in?
Yeah, right. It's now or never, guys. Joe, we move through the gates, splitting up slightly and getting into positions.
All right, Tronald, Celestia, and Raarh, you move through the shattered gates with a stealthy grace, each step calculated and deliberate. The eerie silence is punctuated only by the distant sounds of battle, making every rustle of your clothing and every breath seem unnaturally loud. You spread out, fanning into the shadows, taking up strategic positions around Cass, your eyes never leaving him. His presence is overwhelming, an embodiment of death and destruction. Then suddenly Cass chuckles. You can feel the weight of his gaze even though his back is still turned. Then he speaks.
I can sense you there. Why do you struggle so desperately against the inevitable? The city is already lost. The Lord lies in chains, his fate sealed. Even now, my forces are rounding up the last remnants of resistance in the inner sanctum. Kneel before me now. Kneel before Cass the Bloody-Handed, and I will grant you mercy. You will live, unlike those who defy me. Look around you. This is my dominion now. Every soul within these walls belongs to me. Some have chosen life, others, death. But you have a choice. Kneel, and I will spare you. Stand, and you will fall, just like the ones foolish enough to resist me. Kneel, and join me. Kneel, and survive.
I keep moving around him, Joe. Can't you see that you're just being used? Vizuriel couldn't give a damn about you. You're a slave to his demands. Why go through with this? Why kill and enslave thousands when you're nothing more than a slave yourself?
It's at this point Cass turns around and faces you, Tronald.
You mistake me for someone who cares about the lives of humans. Make no mistake, whether you live or die is irrelevant to me. You speak of slavery as if it is something I wish to escape. But power is my only desire. And if Vizuriel requires me to spill the blood of a few squealing meat sacks in return for that power, then I will happily oblige. You see, Tronald, humans are nothing but insects, scurrying about, pretending their lives have meaning. I am beyond that. Vizuriel's goals align with mine only in that they bring more power, more fear, and more blood. Do not delude yourself into thinking your words can sway me. I am not like you. Compassion, empathy, mercy. These are chains I shed long ago. All that matters is power. And if I must wade through a river of blood to grasp it, then so be it. So kneel, Tronald. Kneel and beg for the mercy I do not possess, or stand and face your annihilation. Choose your next words carefully, for they could be your last.
So, the thing about kneeling, I would honestly, but my knee has been giving me all kinds of grief. So, yeah, can't do it, sorry.
I think what Tronald is trying to say is, Go fuck yourself.
Oh my god.
And with that, I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative.
That's a 15 for me.
An 18 for me.
That's a 14 for me, Joe.
A tainted 20 for me, Joe.
And a 17 for me.
All right, so Cass is up first. Cass's eyes narrow, and with a swift, almost lazy flick of his wrist, he conjures a seething orb of dark energy in his palm. The air around it seems to warp and distort, the very fabric of reality bending under its malevolent power. He hurls the orb between Tronald and Raarh with a force that sends ripples of dread through the air. The orb strikes the ground and expands rapidly, twisting and churning into a swirling vortex of pure darkness. A black hole forms, pulling everything nearby towards its inky depths. The ground trembles, loose stones and debris hurtling into the void, while the very air around it seems to scream in protest. I'm going to need both Raarh and Tronald to make a dex saving throw. You're looking for a 19 or above.
God damn it, that's a 9. I'm going to use a lucky, Joe. Better, that's a 21, thank God for that.
Rip, I only rolled a 16.
Oof, unlucky brother.
I'm going to use my flash of genius to give Raarh another 4 on his roll, giving him a 20 instead.
Damn, that's awesome, Saxy.
Yeah, good looking out, man. Probably just saved my ass big time.
Tronald and Raarh, you both managed to leap to the side, narrowly escaping the full grasp of the black hole's pull. However, as you dive away, searing tendrils of flame erupt from the vortex, licking at your flesh. The heat is intense, a blazing inferno that seems to scorch your very souls. But the horror doesn't end there. From within the black hole, a wave of necrotic energy pulses outward, a sickening, corrupting force that seeps into your wounds and spreads through your bodies. The pain is unlike any other, a cold, gnawing agony that seems to rot you from the inside out. You both stagger from the combined assault, the intense fire and necrotic energy taking their toll. You feel the searing heat and the icy rot ravage your bodies. So that's 33 fire damage and 26 necrotic damage to both Raarh and Tronald.
Sorry, how fucking much?
Holy crap.
I don't feel too good.
Well, first things goddamn first. I'm going to cast absorb elements on that to reduce the fire damage by half. Else I'm just dead right off the bat.
Nice. So that's 16 fire damage to you, Tronald, with the same 26 necrotic damage for 42 total. For you, Raarh, because your rage isn't up, you take the full 59 damage.
What the hell was that though, Joe? What kind of madness have you given this fellow?
Let's put it this way. They're very lucky that they passed their saving throws.
I don't feel that lucky. I'm on bloody 3 HP.
All right. So for his bonus action, Cass raises his hand again, dark energy crackling at his fingertips. He utters an incantation in a language that you cannot comprehend, a chilling chant that seems to turn your blood to ice. As he completes the spell, 2 flame skulls materialize in the air before him. Blazing green flames engulf their skeletal forms, their hollow eye sockets burning with malevolent light. The mad, echoing laughter of the flame skulls fills the air, a cacophony of insanity that reverberates through the battlefield. Their voices are a twisted symphony of madness. The flame skulls hover menacingly, their green flames casting eerie shadows that dance across the walls and ground. They bob and weave in the air, their movements erratic and unpredictable.
Oh, great. Of course he has goddamn summons.
I just want to double check something. You guys are aware that you decided to attack Cass the Bloody-Handed head on, right? I mean, I think I've been pretty clear on who this guy is.
Yes, we're aware, Joe, but it doesn't make it any less shit.
Well, too bad. Just remember you wanted this. All right, Celestia, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here, Joe. Then I'm going to cast Healing Word onto Tronald. So that's 7 points of healing. Then I'm going to cast Blink on myself. That's an 11, so I blink out of existence.
Awesome. Right, Raarh, you're up, buddy.
All right. Firstly, I fucking rage. Then I'm going to charge towards this little vampiric prick and slash at him twice with my great sword. Both reckless, both great weapon master. So the first one was a 16 to hit, and the second was a 21 to hit.
Raarh, you roar in fury, the primal power of your rage surging through your veins. With a determined snarl, you charge towards Cass, your greatsword raised high, your muscles tense as you bring the blade down in a powerful arc. The first strike connects, the blade biting deep into Cass's side with a satisfying crunch. He stumbles, his eyes narrowing in pain and surprise. Undeterred, you swing again with reckless abandon. The second strike lands true, slicing across Cass's chest and leaving a trail of dark, seeping blood. Cass seems easier to hit than you expected, perhaps due to his lack of armor, or maybe something else.
Sweet. So for my first strike, that's... Oh, come on! That's only 13 points of damage. The second slash is for 23 damage.
Those are still some meaty slices, brother. All right, now Cass is going to use one of his legendary actions to toll the dead onto you, Raarh. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yay, natural fucking 2.
Oh wow, he rolled terrible. So that's 9 points of necrotic damage to you, Raarh, halved because of your rage to 4.
Ha, stupid imbecile.
I mean, what do you expect him to do, man? Just stand there and take it?
I was talking about you.
Right. Anyway, so it's your turn now, Mike. What you doing?
I'm going to cast suggestion on him. I want to say, get rid of your sword. Throw it up here. It's cursed.
That's terrible. So that's only a 13, but he's going to use a legendary resistance to ignore that suggestion.
Bow.
No, that's good, Might. We need to get rid of them as quickly as possible.
True.
Cass is going to use another legendary action to cast Toll the Dead again, but this time onto you, Might.
Well, that's a fail of epic proportions. I rolled a 3, Joe.
A mournful, echoing bell tolls in the air, and you feel a cold, necrotic energy wash over you. Your body convulses in pain as the spell takes hold, draining your vitality. Staggering, you clutch your chest, taking 20 points of necrotic damage.
Ouch. That hurts like a son of a bitch.
All right, Saxy, you're up.
I'm going to move over here, Joe. Then I'll cast Heat Metal on the sword. So that's 13 fire damage.
Saxy, you focus on Cass's sword, casting heat metal. The blade begins to glow red hot, steam rising from it. Cass grits his teeth, his face contorting in pain as he tightens his grip on the weapon. Oh, come on, he's rolling terribly. That's a 12 total. You see him shudder, his body trembling as he uses another legendary resistance to shrug off the worst of the effects.
For my bonus action, I'm going to pull out the Steel Defender, throwing it down there towards Cass, activating it. Then I'm going to move back here, ducking down, trying to get out of sight.
Saxy, you swiftly pull out the Steel Defender, a small metal figure no bigger than your hand. With a flick of your wrist, you throw it toward Cass. Mid-air, it expands rapidly, transforming into a towering metal guardian that lands with a resounding thud. The ground shakes slightly from its impact, and the Steel Defender immediately takes a defensive stance, glaring at Cass. Quickly, you move back, ducking behind a nearby piece of rubble to get out of sight, readying yourself for whatever comes next. The battlefield is now even more chaotic, the presence of the massive Steel Defender adding to the intensity.
Don't get me wrong, that was a sexy-ass play, but I'm getting some serious PTSD looking at that thing.
All right, Tronald, you're up, buddy.
All right, I want to move over here, Joe. Then I'm going to use my bonus action to drink a health potion. That's 6 points of healing. Now I want to cast haste on Raarh. You know what they say? If it ain't broke, send in the Raarh.
Tronald, you extend your hand and cast haste on Raarh. A surge of magical energy pulses from your fingers, wrapping around Raarh in shimmering threads of arcane power. Raarh, you once again feel the now all too familiar sensation of Tronald's haste spell coursing through you. Your muscles tense, your reflexes sharpen, and time seems to slow down around you. Everything becomes a blur as you feel an overwhelming rush of energy and speed, ready to unleash your fury on Cass with renewed vigor, increased ferocity, and an unrelenting rage.
Hell yeah, man. Send in the fucking Raarh.
Well, spotting the spell take hold, he's going to use his last legendary action of the round on you, Tronald, attempting to cast Toll the Dead on you.
No chance, at least I hope. That's a 22 for my saving throw.
Awesome, man. Yeah, you're right. That doesn't hit you.
Jeez, try not to sound so depressed by it.
That brings us back to the top of the round with Cass, followed straight after by the 2 flaming skulls. Cass is going to use his bonus action straight away in an attempt to summon up to 4 more flaming skulls. Ugh, that's only a 1 on the D4, so 1 extra flaming skull appears. Then he's going to make 4 attacks towards you, Raarh. That's a natural one for a 15 total, a 28, a 25, and a 32.
Holy guacamole. That natural 1 would have hit me if it wasn't for Tronald's haste. But yeah, all the other 3 get me, Joe.
Cass's eyes narrow as he swings his sword with a merciless fury. His first attack comes in hard and fast, but as the blade slices through the air, it's as if Tronald's haste spell extends a protective barrier, deflecting the strike just inches away from your head. But then the second strike finds its mark, cutting deep into your side, blood spraying from the wound. The third attack follows swiftly, slashing across your chest, searing pain coursing through you as the blade rips through flesh. The final strike drives into your shoulder, the impact forcing you to stagger back, blood pouring from the gaping wound. Cass's face twists into a grim smile, relishing in the brutal onslaught. So that's 39 points of damage to you, Raarh, half to 18.
Let it be known that I'll never not be thankful for having Raarh being the person between us and shit like that.
Oh, you're welcome, Celestia. Just doing my job as a big meaty man.
All right, now it's Flaming Skull 1's turn. It's going to cast Fireball right here in an attempt to get all 3 of you.
But I don't want it to.
Counterspell.
Oh, damn. What a save from Might. As you cast the counterspell, the fiery ball of death that was midair slowly fizzles out, becoming little more than a lick of flame by the time it reaches its endpoint. But now, Flaming Skull 2 is going to do the same thing, in the exact same spot.
Counterspell.
Oh, come on, man. Will you let me at least get one goddamn fireball off?
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
What the hell, man? I'm not Dutch.
But all the other things were true, correct?
Not really.
I just want you all to know that I am out of level 3 spells.
Cool. Anyway, it's your turn now, Celestia. Where do you want to blink back in?
So, I want to blink back in 10 feet closer to the mayhem, then run another 30 feet. Once I'm here, I want to cast Spirit Guardians, so it affects every single one of them.
Oh, damn. Well, let me roll some saving throws. Damn, so all of them fail apart from Cass. Just to let you know, Celestia, none of them actually have a vulnerability to radiant magic, so it will just be a flat roll apart from Cass, whose will be halved, obviously.
Yeah, okay, man, sweet. So that's 15 points of radiant damage to the skulls and 8 points to Cass.
Celestia, you concentrate for a moment, and with a sudden blink, you reappear 10 feet closer to the chaos. You sprint another 30 feet, weaving through the battlefield. Once you reach your position, you raise your hands and call forth your divine power. Glowing spectral figures, radiant and fierce, emerge around you, swirling in a protective and deadly formation. The Spirit Guardians sweep through the battlefield, their ethereal forms slashing through enemies, forcing every foe within their reach to feel the wrath of your divine magic. The air crackles with energy, the battlefield now a blur of divine light and dark shadows. As the Spirit Guardians pierce through the non-existent souls of Kas and the 3 flaming skulls, you see them momentarily recoil from the impact, their forms flickering and wavering in the intense divine light. The Guardians' radiance burns away at the dark energy surrounding them, creating an intense and awe-inspiring clash of opposing forces.
Cool. All right, I'm going to cast Healing Word onto Raarh. So that's 9 points of healing for you, buddy. Then I'm going to attempt to blink back out again. Yes! That's a 15, so I'm back out of there, Joe.
Frickin' awesome, my girl. Right, so that brings us to Raarh. What are you doing, buddy?
All right. So the first thing I want to do is to channel the power of Nepthet Ka from my greatsword, casting Holy Weapon on the blade. Then I'm going to take 3 swings at Cass, both reckless, both great weapon master. So that's a 12 to hit, a 17 to hit. Fuck yeah! That's a natural 20, Joe.
Oofed. This is going to be a biggie.
That's fantastic, Raarh. Keep up the great work.
Holy crap, dude. All right, all of them hit, man. Roll your damage.
So, that's 31 damage for my first slash, 29 damage for my second, and 51 for my crit.
Did you double your holy weapon damage for the crit attack, dude?
No, I'm not supposed to. It's just my sword's damage that I double.
No, buddy, you get to double all of the dice rolls. That includes the holy weapon. So yeah, brother, go ahead and double that shit.
Oh, damn, for realsies?
For realsies, man. Get it doubled.
So that's 64 points of damage for my crit. So in total, that's 124 damage.
Holy
Wow.
fuck, dude. You're an absolute monster.
I am the Green Bear Elk Batman God. Speaker to frogs, decimator of flowers, wielder of Nepthet Ka, wearer of cock necklaces. I am death, I am doom, I am Raarh.
Bruh, if this is you at level 7, I don't even want to imagine you later on.
Guys, I need you to help me stay alive until my next turn. If I don't make it, it all goes to shit.
Noted.
Don't you noted me? That wasn't for your ears, Joe.
Well, I mean, it kind of was. You shouted it out, so it was for everyone's ears.
Fuck you, man.
How sweet. Right, it's your turn now, Mike. What you doing?
Okay, so I want to do a jumping roll off this wall, all nimble and cat-like, and run up to Cass.
Right, so that wall's pretty high, dude. I know you're a cat and all, and you're always supposed to land on your feet, but that doesn't mean you won't break your legs when you land. So, I'm gonna need you to make me an acrobatics check there.
That's a 19 on my acrobatics.
Yeah, so you make it to Cass without a problem.
Awesome. Right, so I reach out and place a hand on him before I cast Bestow Curse on him.
Nice. So that's a 28 for his saving throw.
Silvery barbs.
That's a natural 3, but he really doesn't want that curse on him, so he's going to use his last legendary resistance to resist the effects of it.
Well, poo.
Right, so we're on to you, Saxy.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 shots with my rifle at the flame skull, which hasn't had a chance to cast fireball yet. I'm going to make both these attacks with sharpshooter. Nice. That's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, both of them shots hit, buddy.
So that's 22 base damage, plus 20 for sharpshooter, for 42 total.
Well, it would have been, but they have resistance to piercing damage.
Fuck.
Don't worry, brother. 21 damage is still pretty neat.
I'm going to use my bonus action to re-trigger the heat metal on Cass's sword. That's 9 points of damage.
Well, he makes his save, so that's 5 points of damage, and he manages to keep a hold of the blade.
Of course he does.
Saxy, Your steel defender pivots and focuses on the nearest flaming skull. With a swift and powerful motion, it slams its metallic fist into the skull, hitting it with a 19. And for 13 bludgeoning damage, the flaming skull shatters under the force, its eerie green flames extinguished instantly. Without pausing, the steel defender turns its attention to Cass. It delivers 2 more devastating blows. The first strike connects with a 23 and the second with an 18, dealing a total of 30 bludgeoning damage. The impacts reverberate through Cass's body, the force causing him to stagger as the steel defender relentlessly presses its assault.
Damn. Well, that steel defender is putting in the work. I'm glad I decided to yeet it out there.
Cass, seething from the blows dealt by the steel defender, raises his hand, dark energy swirling around it. With a sinister incantation, he uses 3 of his legendary actions and unleashes the spell Negative Energy Flood directly at you, Saxy. I'm going to need you to make me Constitution saving throw.
Nice. So that's a 17, Joe.
Damn, nice roll, but sorry, not high enough.
Oh, you're a dick, dude.
Saxy, you feel a wave of malevolent force crash into you, seeping into your very bones. The energy pulses and rides within you, threatening to tear your life force apart. Your vision blurs, and for a moment, the world seems to darken around you as the flood of necrotic energy courses through your body. The pain is excruciating, every nerve ending screaming in agony. You feel the weight of death itself pressing down on you, the sinister power of Cass's spell trying to drag you into the abyss. So that's 37 points of necrotic energy to you, Saxy.
How are you looking?
You know what? It fucking hurt, but I'm all right.
All right, Tronald, you're up.
Raarh, do you still want to be protected from Cass until your turn? Because I can get you out of there for now if you need.
Yeah, if you can, man, because my HP pool isn't looking too saucy at the moment.
Joe, I want to cast Vortex Warp onto Raarh, moving him 60 feet backwards. Then, I would like to shimmy on over here to try get some kind of cover, if that's even possible with that jutty out wall.
Sweet. So now it's the top of the round again. Cass is going to take a swing towards you, Mite. That's a natural 20.
Silvery barbs.
Wow. That's another natural 20.
I use a lucky.
Jesus, dudes. Will you chill out? All right, so that's a 25 to hit. Okay, so that's 15 points of slashing damage.
Please stop hitting me.
What do you mean, stop hitting you? He hasn't even got started yet. He's going to make another swing towards you, Mite. Oh my god, guys, you won't believe this. That's another natural 20.
Lucky.
Seriously, dude? You're taking the piss now. So that's a 23 to hit for 12 points of slashing damage. Right, so Cass is furious. With his bonus action, he's going to transform into a swarm of bats. Flying over to you, Tronald, the Steel Defender and Mite both get an attack of opportunity if you want to take it.
Nah, I don't want to use an attack of opportunity. I'd rather keep my reaction available for now.
Awesome, man. Well, the Steel Defender is going to take the attack of opportunity. So that's a 17 to hit and 13 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, get lost, you wish.com, Batman. Get the hell away from me.
So Cass is going to make 2 attacks towards you, Tronald. The first is a 19 to hit.
I'm gonna cutting words his ass as I vigorously ding-a-lingle in my triangle. Back off, my friend, you fucking heathen, or I'll get my boy Raarh to stop you breathing.
Damn, that's awesome, man. Good thinking.
Such a beautiful way with words.
So I reduced that attack by 7, so instead of a 19, it's now a 12.
Damn, Mite, thanks, brother. You saved old Tronald's booty big time.
His final attack is a 25 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits me, man. I don't even have anything to counter this with except a portent, but that wouldn't bring the attack low enough. Ah, well, good luck me, I guess.
Well, that's a shame, but that's 13 points of damage to you, Tronald. I'm also going to need you to make a concentration check for me. You've got Warcaster, so you should be all right.
Yeah, fine. I rolled a 15.
Awesome, so you maintain Raarh's haste.
Guys, I'm on 2 health. Help.
Okay, so now it's the Flaming Skull's turns. Number 1 is going to cast 2 fire rays towards you, Mite. The first roll was a 13, and the second was an 18.
Yep, gets me.
So that's 8 points of fire damage.
Well, that's me down, ladies and gentlemen.
No, Catman!
We'll save you, buddy. Well, that's if I don't die myself first.
The second skull is going to cast 2 fire rays towards you, Raarh. That's a 22 to hit and a 15 to hit.
Only one of them gets me, Joe.
All right, so that's 13 points of fire damage, reduced to 6 because of your rage.
I'm just glad the one that had a fireball available wasn't alive.
True shit, man. All right, now it's your turn, Celestia. Where do you want to blink back in?
I want to appear right over here, Joe. Hopefully both of the skulls will be in the radius of my spirit guardians because technically that is where I started my turn. So, yeah. Both of the skulls get boinked.
You know what? That's a clever use of the rules. I'm all for that. Damn, so they both fail. How much damage do you do?
That's 17 points of radiant damage to both.
Celestia, your spirit guardians swirl around you with radiant energy, their ethereal forms cutting through the darkness. The two remaining flaming skulls are caught in the radiant storm. The first skull shatters under the onslaught, its eerie green flame snuffed out in an instant. The second follows suit, the radiant energy piercing through its incorporeal form and extinguishing its unholy light. The shattered remnants of the skulls scatter, their horrific bastardized laughter silenced as they dissolve into nothingness.
So now I'm going to cast Healing Word on Might. That's the last of my first level spells. But that heals you 7 health, dude. Then I'm going to use my 4th level to cast Polymorph on Tronald, turning him into a giant ape.
Holy fuck, that's crazy, girl.
Like all of a sudden I'd be trying to prove that I'm not crazy when I knew I wasn't crazy.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing, man?
Sorry, I just get a little excited when I hear anything to do with apes or bears.
Can you just give me my description so I can end my turn, man?
Yeah. Sorry. Celestia, you focus your energy and cast Polymorph on Tronald. A shimmering aura envelops him, and in an instant his form begins to shift and grow. His body expands, muscles bulging and fur sprouting in a vibrant orange hue. Tronald's human features melt away, replaced by the powerful primal form of a giant ape. The ground trembles beneath his immense weight as he roars, a deep, thunderous sound that reverberates through the battlefield. The transformation is complete, and now Tronald stands as a colossal orange-furred giant ape, ready to unleash his newfound strength.
So yeah, that's my spirit guardians gone, replaced with Polymorph. Then I'm going to attempt to blink back out. My thinking is if I'm not here to be hit, then I can't have my concentration broken, so Tronald stays as monkey. Uh-oh, that's a 7, so I don't manage to blink out.
I'm going to give you my portent 12, Celestia, so you do manage to blink out.
Ooh, nice.
So Cass is going to use 3 of his legendary actions. He raises his hand, dark energy crackling at his fingertips. He channels this sinister power and casts harm on the newly transformed giant ape, Tronald. The air around you grows cold as a wave of necrotic energy surges from Cass's outstretched hand, slamming into the massive ape with unrelenting force. Give me a con saving throw.
So using my monkey's con, that's still only a 15.
Tronald, your enormous ape form shudders as the dark magic tears through you. Pain courses through your body, muscles withering and fur singeing under the necrotic onslaught. You feel a significant portion of your vitality being drained away, the energy sapping your strength and leaving a lingering sense of weakness. The battlefield momentarily echoes with the primal roar of agony from the colossal ape. That's 54 points of necrotic damage.
Well, thank the gods I've abandoned humanity and returned to monkey.
All right, Raarh, you're up, buddy.
Cool. Right, firstly, I'm going to channel the energy gathered in my sword to give me 5d10 temp health. So that's 29 temp HP for me. Now I'm going to charge towards Cass, delivering 3 attacks to him, both reckless, both great weapon master. That's a 14, a 6, and a 17 to hit.
Yeah, so 2 of them hit, man.
Well, that was a self-fulfilling prophecy if I've ever seen one.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you said both. So you kind of told the game that you were only going to hit 2 of them.
Interesting. I shall bear that in mind for the future, wise and horny cat man.
Roll your damage for me, Raarh.
So that's a total of 70 damage for 2 attacks.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, that's terrifying. All right, Mike, you're up.
I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on Cass. You're not a king of death, Cass, just its sniveling, cowardly servant.
Unlucky, buddy. He rolled a 23 for his save. He doesn't even pay you any attention as he is fully focused on Raarh and the giant ape.
Damn, that's hurtful, man.
All right, Saxy, you're up.
And I'm going to make 2 sharpshooter attacks towards Cass. So that's 17. Yes, that's a natural 20.
Awesome, both hit, dude.
So that's 41 points of damage total, Joe.
Saxy, you level your rifle and fire 2 precise shots. The first bullet tears through Cass's shoulder, spraying dark ichor. The second lodges deep into his chest, causing him to stagger, clutching at the wounds. Blood pours from the gaping holes, and you can see the pain etched on his face. Cass is looking really rough now, his movements sluggish and desperate.
Frickin' awesome.
Right, we're back to you, Monkey Man. What are you doing?
I want to bash my fists on my chest. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Then, in the words of myself, from the very first session, I punch him. I punch him twice in his dumbass face. So that's a 17 and a 27 to hit.
Both hit, man. Give me that damage.
That's a 22 and a 32 for 54 total.
Tronald, how do you want to do this?
Fucking
Nice.
epic, man.
All right, I want to grab an arm in each hand before ripping them both off. Then I put both of my giant hands on his neck, popping his head off like a cork.
All right, Tronald. As you lumber forward in your giant ape form, you feel the ground shake beneath your massive feet. You reach out, grabbing one of Cass's arms in each of your enormous hands. With a primal roar, you pull, feeling the resistance of his sinew and bone before they give way with a sickening crunch. Blood and tissue spray in every direction as you rip both arms clean off his body. Cass screams in agony, but you're not done. You drop the severed limbs and place your immense hands around his neck. With a powerful squeeze, you lift him off the ground. His eyes widen in terror, and with a final brutal twist, you pop his head off like a cork from a bottle. As his head separates from his body, instead of blood, a strange slushy substance begins to seep from his neck, turning into a snowy slush that melts into the ground. The rest of his form follows suit, dissolving into the same eerie, frosty substance. It's a haunting sight, his entire being fading away into the earth, leaving no trace behind except for the chilling realization that something wasn't quite right about him.
Guys, seriously, what the hell? Why did he turn into snow?
I honestly have no idea. I was hoping you might be able to answer that for us.
Joe, do I have any idea why this happened?
Give me an Arcana check.
That's a 22, Joe.
Tronald, as you observe the remains of Cass turning into snow, you start piecing together the clues. You recall the specific properties of simulacra, the way they mimic their creator but are composed of ice and snow, the chilling slush seeping into the ground, the lack of blood upon receiving a killing blow. It all aligns with what you know about this particular illusionary magic. Your arcane knowledge tells you that what you fought wasn't the real Cass but a simulacrum, a mere duplicate. A distraction. As the realization dawns upon you, a slow, deliberate clap echoes through the desolate battlefield. You turn sharply, your senses heightened. Standing there is a woman with fiery red hair and vibrant green eyes. Mordrin. The air around her seems to shimmer with an unsettling aura, but she is not alone. Beside her stands a dark elf, his presence radiating a chilling menace. Dressed in deep purple, his face is a mask of unreadable intent, eyes cold and calculating.
Well, hello, motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Hey, it's Stinky Man!
And that is where we're going to wrap up this session. If you're enjoying this series, I'd be so grateful if you shared it around. And if you want to go even further, supporting me on Patreon helps me more than you can imagine. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next week.